Hey everyone, welcome to the Cultivate Your Life podcast, where we're nourishing our minds through cultivating conversation. Welcome to episode number 3. So I know it's been a while since we've been on here and we actually uploaded an episode, but work had been really busy one week and unfortunately I got really sick. I think on one of the episodes in the past, you could hear how congested I sound, and it was horrible, but it was really bad this time. So I'm finally feeling better. So we are back. And we're going to start pumping these episodes out every Saturday. So go ahead and make sure, if you haven't already, hit the like button so you do not miss an episode. So like, subscribe, and share. New episodes are uploaded every Saturday. So I have a special guest with me. We have Sophia. Hey, Sophia.
Hi,
Where are you joining us from?
Rome, Texas. North of
Fort
Dallas.
Worth?
Yeah, north of Dallas.
Yeah, North of Dallas. Okay. So I said I was really gonna try not to record my episodes on a Thursdays, but cheers to thirsty Thursdays.
Cheers.
How was your week?
Hectic with the usual stuff. How about you?
The week started off like really good, and then I just felt like as like hump day was a real hump day because the week started off like up here and then hump day came along and it just
No.
went like and it's all the way down. So tomorrow is Friday, so it's like close to the weekend, so that's like the good thing about it.
Busy
So
week. Easter weekend.
well, yeah, it
We're
has been a
gonna
busy
be
week. So
invading-
you said what?
Easter weekend, we're gonna be invading your space. Yo, don't tell me, you know. Korean meal. Food or not.
Yes, it is. It is Easter weekend, and you guys are going to be invading my space because I am hosting Easter dinner. So, yeah. But we always have a good time, right?
We always do. We always do.
I always have a good time drinking, eating,
Hmm.
talking nonsense.
Just like we're doing on this podcast. As minus the food.
See, that's a good thing you didn't even come over here to record it because the first thing you're gonna be like, Lisa, what we eating?
Exactly.
And then if
Exactly.
I said, oh, I didn't have time to cook something, I like let's order something. Ah, you expect me to come over here and you don't cook for me?
Exactly. Order food. Mm-mm.
What is that? We don't
What
never
is
order
that?
food when we come to your house. That is like a no no.
Mm-mm. Order food.
Question we're gonna talk about today is, do opposites really attract? Or do you need your significant other to share most or some of your habits, traditions, beliefs, traits, etc.?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the first part of that question, does opposite really attract, is kind of like a yes or no. It's like a yes and no answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because for me, I don't need somebody who is exactly like me. Cause we're gonna be butting heads, not even butting heads, we butting fists, cause we fighting. So they cannot be the exact same as me, but they cannot be totally opposite of me because then we're not going to click at the same time too.
Sure.
So I think I have my moments where I could be an introvert. I know some people listen to this going to be like, she lie when I say I could sometimes be an introvert, but sometimes I could be an introvert, sometimes I could be an extrovert. I have moments, right? And I do know that there's some people who are introverts that they don't have moments. That's just who they are. And some of them are so much of an introvert, like they're so much of like a homebody. They don't
Mm-hmm.
really care to be in social settings at all, at all. That would be an issue for me because I have moments where I could be a homebody, but I have other moments that I don't want to be at home. I want to be out. I want to go do something. So that would be a problem. So I think you have to just kind of find that happy center
Mm-hmm.
and work within that. But I do also feel like I need my partner or my significant other, whoever I'm interested in at the time, to have a big amount of the same like hobbies and traits as me. I think I feel so one of my big ones is I don't connect with American guys. I have a hard time. And I do try. I try.
Okay.
Sophia, I don't know why you're fixing your face though.
I'm just listening. Go ahead.
I do try. Now, can I try a little harder? Yes.
See, that was where I was going with that. But go ahead.
But a try is a try. A win is a win and a try is a try. I don't try. Okay? I don't try. I
Mm-hmm.
try.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather date someone who is from the Caribbean, um, or even like their immediate like their mom and dad has to be Caribbean. But
Mm-hmm.
even like if your mother in Caribbean but your father is, but you ain't grew up, you never live with your father, grew up with your father, that don't count.
Right.
Cause nothing has seeped into you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You haven't been exposed to
So
any culture.
right, so that don't count. I'm open to. I've dated an African, but he's like the only African I've ever met from Gambia,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's as far. Cause sometimes some of them Nigerians they so headstrong too, my son.
I can't comment on that. I don't know any of them.
Some of them like they so headstrong too. So, but I'm open to them because I feel like they're closer
Mm-hmm.
to Caribbean culture, if that makes sense, than American. So that's important to me. I still need to be with somebody who kind of likes to do the same thing like I do. I need them to like to go to the gym, like to go on hikes, who um like to try different things, who is open to trying like different cultures and different cuisines and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a trait that's important to me. I know there's some people who I love Christmas.
Right.
Like I love Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. I love the family. I love the decorations. I love the Christmas movies. I love the baking the cookies. I love Christmas. But there's some people who are not big in Christmas like that, and that doesn't bother me. I could still be with somebody who isn't big in Christmas like that. But they cannot chastise how I feel about Christmas.
Right.
And they have to be kind of open to not be totally engulfed in Christmas as me, but be open to a Christmas movie, gonna looking at lights. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like entertain the idea of it with me. Does that make sense?
Right, because they know it's something that means a lot to you. It's something that you like to do. So,
Right. And I would do the same if they are into
mm-hmm.
something that I'm not into like that. Like, I can't stand for Valentine's Day. I
Right.
do not like that shit. I think it's the dumbest crap. I don't like it. Don't come and say you buying me flowers. We're not doing that. No, it's a regular day to me. I
Mm-hmm.
might meet a man who they're so into Valentine's Day. They like going that extra step. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, don't come and bring me nothing. I'm not gonna do that. I will indulge in it because that's what he's into.
Right.
Now, do not walk to my door or send me a whole heap of flowers because it gonna piss me off. Don't
Seriously.
go and spend your money and buying 16 dozen of roses to come deliver to my door because the first thing I gonna say is, you know what this money could I buy? These flowers finna die in a week.
But that's
That's a waste.
expressing their love to you. That's one way that they can express their love to you.
We will have to talk that out because I would really, really want him to refrain from that.
Right.
I am not into that.
Well, then again, too, somebody that you're with would know that that's not something that you're really into. It may be something that
That
you're
is true, right?
so
So it goes back to like, yes, I will compromise on Valentine's Day, but I am not compromising to you bringing me 16
right,
dozen roses. That's not. I'm not. I don't want that.
right.
You
So
could send one.
you find a common ground, a little happy
Right.
medium.
A common ground is you could send one, and then
Mm-hmm.
you could bring me a chocolate. That's fine. That's it. We don't need to go out to no restaurant to eat because the food is gonna taste bad on that day anyways.
It's
If
gonna be
you want cook me a nice dinner at home, that's fine too. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's my viewpoint on the topic. What about you?
So I feel like opposites do attract sometimes. Um, but everybody knows kind of like what they're attracted to. In a sense of
Do
opposite,
you really?
it may not be what's right for them, but it is what they're attracted to. You know what I mean?
But sometimes you meet people who you'll be like surprised, like, oh my gosh, I really like this vibes, but he's not somebody that I'm really like I'm usually attracted to.
Right. And that's the thing. If you're seeing that what you're usually attracted to is not working for you, you may need to switch it up. Some people don't like accepting that, but you need to switch it up sometimes.
You
But
talking about me?
have their hit that with holler. Okay. Not at all. But that's will holler. I'm telling you. Well, no, but yeah, a lot of people do know what they are attracted to. They know what they're going out there looking for. Sometimes I feel like you do sometimes need somebody that will kind of balance you out. Like you said that you're an extrovert, you're not really an introvert, but you can get that way sometimes. But sometimes you need somebody who can balance you out sometimes. Um,
Hmm.
of them having like the same beliefs and traditions as you, I think that that is important to an extent. There is sometimes it's a good thing when you can learn from your partner or your spouse. You know, they may not be into the same things as you, but they can teach you different things that you may be interested in, or things that can help you be a better person or help you change something. Not to say like anybody needs to change you, but they can, introduce you to different things. They can help develop your mind on different things, see different perspectives on different things. Um, and then in like I think long term though, if you're talking like marriage and kids, I think it's important to kind of have similar traditions and beliefs. You have to have that kind of talk as to how you're going to raise your kids, um, how you're going to be in a family unit. You have to have that type of talk, and sometimes it is easier when they have the same or similar traditions to you, even in terms of, I would say, even finances. If you have someone who's all about saving and um, building up their businesses, or just creating some type of generational wealth for their families and whatnot. And then you have on the other hand someone who's just always on a beat, out every weekend, spending money recklessly. That don't mesh. That don't mesh.
I know whoever I'm with, you need to be able to tell me, Lisa, you don't need that.
Right.
Because I don't be like, I don't see something, I'll be like, oh, I want that. Oh, I have the money for that, I'll get it. Or like, for example, when I want to change my coach, I was
Mhm.
talking to somebody and they talked me out of it. Because I was like, oh, I could sell my coach and then buy the coach that I saw that I wanted. I don't need a coaching. I don't need another coaching. But I wanted it. So I need somebody like that to be like, Lisa, you don't need that.
Right. And
You don't
that's
need that.
too, like somebody who can kind of talk you off of certain things that you might be doing that may not be in your best interest. You have to be able to listen and understand and have these conversations with your partner or your spouse. So I think it kind of, like you said, it's a yes and it's a no. It all depends. You know,
Well, that situation, that was a no for me.
mm, yeah, definitely
I was really, and but you see, when you say like, when it goes back to when you said sometimes you need to
balance each other
what?
out.
No, 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 not that. Cause he can't. That one, they can't balance me out.
Oh goodness.
No, 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 no. When you had said, what did you say? Oh, when you said you felt like when the opposites attract portion, and you said sometimes when I said sometimes you meet somebody who like you like the vibes, but they're not really what you usually go for, and you're like, well, if you're still going for the same type, maybe you need to switch up what you go for.
Hmm. One time cannot make it a rule right now. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, I tried it one time, it didn't work, so I'm not going to try it again. No, Lisa, you can't do
That man, I wanted to box it in the head,
that. That was one. So you can't categorize all of them the same.
which is true, but it just goes back to what I said too. Um, they can't be too much like me and
Right,
and then some. So
right.
I felt like with him it's more of you could tell you could I'm not going I don't want to take away from I don't want to take too much away from the man who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could tell he is a man who leads a woman, right?
Right.
And that's fine and that's okay. I have no problems with that. But when you have to draw a line at some point where you're having a discussion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much showing you in your face the facts. And I'm saying, no, you're wrong. This
Right.
is what it is. It's right in front of you. And you still gonna turn to me and say, okay, we gonna just go ahead and drop it. And I say it's the same. And what I say is gold. I am not that woman to be like, okay. No, I am that woman to be like, we're gonna drop it. But I'm sticking to what I said because I know it's right.
At least I don't have the last word. But no,
It's not
definitely.
even about having the last word.
Right. No, I
It's
definitely.
not even about having the last word. It would have been one thing if the discussion didn't get, maybe it wouldn't have been a big thing if the discussion didn't get heated. I felt it got heated from him, and it could be, I mean, he is Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
so you know they talk loud. I know sometimes I don't talk loud too,
Yeah.
but I had a smile on my face. So I don't see how it was an argument. If
Right.
I was talking loud, I was smiling.
I have the issue as well too, because when you're passionate about a subject, sometimes your voice do tend to rise and escalate a
But
bit.
it was a dumb thing to be passionate about in anyways. Because I
Well,
had the proof to tell you
right.
you were wrong. It's two different women. That's not the same actress.
Yeah.
And you want to get passionate about what, the fact that you wrong?
He felt he was right, even though you showed him different. But he felt he was right, so he passionate about that. You know,
That doesn't make any sense. So I think with that, in that situation right there, I can't be with somebody like that.
that's the thing.
Because
So some people that they feel that they're right, that they're not open to hearing somebody else's perspective or side of something, and that's a
and
problem.
that's what I'm, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, at that point, if I just felt like you saw, I gave you the proof. I said these are two different actresses, they're not the same person. You should have been like, oh, you're right, man, they're two different, okay, and let it go, right?
Right.
But when you're still dragging it on and I'm showing you, I have proof, and I'm showing you, and you're still like, you want to end the conversation with you being, with me agreeing with you that it's the same person? No.
You could disagree.
So that was like, that's like a red flag right there for
Yeah,
me.
that shows someone that's just not they don't have an open mind at
No,
all.
that's a red flag
And
right there for me.
yeah.
And so, like, at that point now, it has already tainted everything else that comes afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm just like, I can't, I try to let go, but then you just do other stuff to just make me be like,
Yeah, because you're watching everything sideways now.
I don't feel I was. I don't feel I was watching everything sideways now.
Well, that was a red
I
flag
don't
to
feel I
me.
was.
That was a big red flag to me, and it's like you do that though, Lisa.
What?
You do that though.
Why do?
Already show if somebody already show you something one time, you're gonna be like kind of suspect or expecting the worst out of things that they do. Like I'm just gonna wait because they gonna fuck up. I just gonna wait. I know it gonna happen.
But am I wrong?
That's not the point.
I
Oh my goodness.
mean, I
Usually
don't.
you're not, which is good. Usually you're not. So you always follow your mind. That's good. But
But I get what you're saying.
right.
I'm working on it. I'm working on that.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes I do. But in this situation, I was really like, just let that's just one time, let it go. Because I did even talk to him that night, and I said, I hope I didn't. I'm like, you said you seem kind of off for the rest of the day. Like, I just want us to like just pick back up wherever the next day. So I was willing to like move on, but then the next day, my boy, you showed me a whole bunch of other flags. So what am I supposed to do with that?
Right.
You know, and then I don't feel I'm that much of a touchy feely person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need I don't need somebody up under me, or I don't need to be up under somebody all the time.
Right.
And I think I don't want to say that because I feel like it just depends on how much I've had to drink and how much I actually really, really like you.
But
But for
no,
the most part, on a regular
right,
day-to-day life,
right.
I'm not that. I'm not that person. So I think like the next day, I think he had want to like we were watching TV and he's like, "Oh, why you sitting so far from me?" And I was like, no reason, because I just watching TV. And he felt a way about that, and then like he wanted to cuddle, and this is me. I was just like, and I had to tell. I was like, let me be honest. Me not kind of person, you know. Mm-mm. And I think he felt a way about that.
But that's something there too, you know. It's like, okay, you're not much of that touchy feely person, but somebody else might be. That's just
No.
the way they express themselves. They always have to be up under you and touching you as they're talking to you and be in your space and in your presence all the time. Like in
And
your
he kept
space.
touching my face. Every time he talks, he want to be touching my face. And I'm like, why
Ooh,
are you? I had to ask him, I was like, why you keep touching my face?
it's
And
messy.
he's like, you don't, I mean, you know, like when we touch your face? No! It's not going anywhere.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm horrible, man. I'm horrible. But I tried. I really do. And I feel like that was an opposite to a
Hmm.
certain level.
Right.
And then it
And
just
the way it goes, you're learning each other. It's like, you just started really hanging around that person and you get to know somebody. And it's okay to say, well, okay, this is not what
Sophia, it's
I think.
been 4 days.
Yeah, I know, not even a week. But
But I told you. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you?
and
I
exactly what
told
I said
you.
earlier,
This fool not making it past a week, you know.
exactly what I said earlier. You put that out there, girl.
Because I had already seen after day one, I was like,
Ooh,
you could have tell. But I was honest with him too, and I said,
right.
well, you this way now. I said, you gonna switch. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I thought the fool would at least wait a month. I really did. I thought it would have been a
Yeah,
month. But you waited like 4 days and now you done switch up and I'm just like, I don't want to be here no more.
at least he
I don't
didn't.
want to be here no more.
At least he didn't. You don't want to waste someone. Because it's like nobody can put on this facade forever. Nobody can be
But
who.
well, let's be for real. Was I really going to waste a month?
No, you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Props to you.
I wouldn't. I
For
still
that.
was talking and dating other people. I was not going to waste a month. Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's what he wanted to. Like, I feel like he jumped into this like ready to go headstrong into this and
Yeah.
expected me to like almost like be his woman and cut
Mm-hmm.
people like not talk to other people. And I was like, no, I am a single woman. I am free to talk to whoever. So I feel like if I am not in a relationship, as if this man don't sit me down and say, you my woman, we exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
sir, I'm entertaining everybody. Okay, let me don't say it like that. People listening will be like, this girl. I don't mean it like that. I don't entertain everybody. But what I mean is, I am not going to not talk to somebody
Mm-hmm.
because of some imaginary relationship I concocted in my head.
Or something that can possibly be. I mean, so when, well, yeah. Like I
So
told
then now that goes. I know you gonna ask when do you have that discussion, right? Because if you're just talking and dating and getting to know somebody, at
you,
what point does it switch to being okay? We're working towards a relationship. At what point does that happen?
right. And it's like, is there a part in between? So it's like, you're just talking, you're getting to know each other. And it's like, okay, I think I really like, I think I may want to start seeing if this can go somewhere. So it's like more of an exclusive thing, but you're not in a full relationship yet. You haven't had a talk like, okay, I'm with you, you're my woman, whatever the case is.
I don't know at what point you have that conversation where it's okay, we building something because you in your head could think that and he could think something completely different.
And then
So I
when you
think you have to have it at the beginning. I think you have to have it right at the beginning and just be like, what are your intentions? What are you looking for? So if somebody is looking to be in a relationship, so okay, well, since this person is actually looking to be in a relationship, then maybe I would have to be a little more careful in certain things that I do because I know this is what this person is looking for. Now, if this person come and tell me, "Oh, I just looking to see where things go," I'm not going to be careful. I'm still going to be doing me because you're just looking to see where things go. It doesn't matter to you. You know what I mean?
well, looking to see where things will could be like, I mean, it can eventually lead to a relationship. So then we're back to that question: when are you at
But
that?
then I feel like if you're saying you're not dating with intentions.
Right.
So I feel like if you're going in and you like see where things go, you're not I don't feel like you're taking the whole thing serious. So I don't feel like when somebody says that, I don't know, I just kind of be like, okay, well, this is probably not going to go anywhere because they don't even know what the fuck they're looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if
Mhm.
you come and you tell me, well, I'm really looking for somebody who I can build with and be with and grow with and all of that, then I'm gonna be like, okay, you're dating with intentions. There is a big difference between just dating for dating and
Right.
dating with intentions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know people on this part think I probably would be stuck in a whole heap of nonsense, which I do. So they probably even confused like when she serious and when she joking.
They probably are. They probably are.
But it is what it is. This is me. This is who I am. Whatever. But yeah, so I feel like so
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
I don't
I
know.
think the topic too, where you're saying like, you can't date American men. I feel that there's some of them that can, like, they do have a desire to learn the culture and immerse themselves in the culture. You don't find that?
I mean they do. I'm not saying that I cannot at all. I guess it's more of I haven't found an American guy that I click with, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I think
And
that, remember I was saying too, with having people like that are opposites, where you can kind of like teach people certain things or kind of help them grow in certain way. I think that's a good thing too with, with some American people who are open to learning the culture. You will take pride in trying to show them, about where you
of
came from,
course.
culture over there. And I think that's a good part in strengthening a relationship with them if they are open to that and immersing themselves in that as well. I
Yeah,
think.
of course. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I okay. So maybe I phrased it wrong.
Mhm.
I just haven't met an American guy that I click with, but
Right,
I honestly don't go with the intentions of. I would always gravitate to a Caribbean man.
right, yeah.
I'm always gonna gravitate to them. It doesn't matter where they come from, and especially a Trini man. Oh Jesus, because they sound like they're singing when they talk. But yeah, I just had this conversation with somebody on my way home from the nail salon, and she Trini, and she was like, she would never, she can't be with Trini man.
Oh, really?
She doesn't even want to be with Caribbean men.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's okay date like she likes American guys, and it's like she doesn't date Caribbean men because of how they are like with. I say to all the Caribbean men that listening to this, with
I apologize in
with
advance, and I already know where you're going with it. Go ahead.
with the multiple women and all the children and all of that.
Hmm.
I get that, but I still love my Caribbean man.
Yeah, and I don't think that has anything to do with them being Caribbean, because American men are like that too.
Which is true, yeah, exactly. That aspect is the same. Is that's
Right.
true. American, that's just men, right?
Right.
But that's what she was saying. But I would just gravitate more to a Caribbean man.
Yeah. I mean, I could get that too. I understand.
Yeah, I just gravitate more to them, and then I think it due to maybe it does depends on where you go, right? So I know at the beginning of the year I did say I was,
Oh,
going to go different places to meet different people, not just staying in the Caribbean like scene or whatever, and which I have done.
mm-hmm.
And I have met people and I've had a lot of fun there. So I don't know, maybe it's opening my eyes to a different side now.
Right.
Um, who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? But
Whoever,
it's just like a preference, you know?
yeah, whoever you end up with gonna know that you Caribbean to the bone. They're gonna know that's just something they have to deal with. They're gonna
Hmm.
know that's something they're gonna be exposed to and be around all the time. It is
Yeah,
what it
so get used to it.
is.
Yeah.
Right. It is what
We
it
ain't going to the ratchet clubs because I
is.
don't go there. And I won't be with Caribbean, well, American guy that goes there either. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not my scene. We can go to R&B spot. We could go, you know, we
Right.
can go there like to those type of stuff. But yeah, I ain't going to no freaking trap house. Is that what they call them? Or that's a trap house? Is a drug house?
I don't even know.
Me no, but
I
yeah,
don't
y'all listening, y'all know what I mean.
know.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to like them hood spots. Like I just, it's not my cup of tea. It could
Right.
be somebody else's cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. You wanna go? You with me? You wanna go a night out with the boys? Knock yourself out. I will be at the house.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
will be
that's
at the house.
um, point two I was thinking about with with being with someone. It's always good to have your own identity as well and have things that you do for yourself.
Right.
So, having someone that likes, the same things that you like and whatnot doesn't necessarily mean that you guys have to be around each other 24/7 all the time.
I will
I
go crazy.
definitely. I
I
like
will
having,
go nuts.
so, for you to
Like
still
so,
have,
pretty much your significant other's friends,
right,
group of friends, cannot be your same group of
group
friends.
of friends, exactly. So for you to have other interests beyond what I'm interested in is fine as well because you need to have your space and your time to do you, which is
Right. The
uh,
same way you need, same way as vice versa. You need to
as
have your space and time to do you too as well. Right.
long as we
Right.
both respect in the relationship when we doing our different stuff, we great. But that is definitely important because you don't have to be up under me all the time.
Tell that fool that, and it was only 4 days.
I don't think you're getting comfortable way too fast, girl. Way too fast. I don't know what it is. Whew. What you doing, Amanda?
Right.
Cook for it?
Say what?
You cook for it? That's what it was?
Nope.
Man, we're getting comfortable.
I did not. I did no such thing. I did no such thing. I do not know how he got so comfortable so
Right.
fast, and I'm just here like, sir, do you know your number not even saved?
Listen, you know the amount of people who would probably be watching you and you don't even know? He
What do you
probably
mean?
for a very long time waited for his chance to make a move, and then he finally make a move and you was like, welcome him in. So he just went for
You know what? And he did say that. He said he had been watching me for a very long time, and he had wanted to talk to me for a very long time.
So he wasn't wasting no time. He don't waste time watching you from afar. He wasn't
He
wasting
was like, I already know she. I've been watching she for so long. I already know her.
no everything about you already, girl. Yes. Let me not say that.
But you come in that like you come in that strong, which is crazy, and I don't feel like I was honest from the jump street. I
Mm-hmm.
was very honest. I was very
Right.
transparent. I let it to be known that I was talking to other other
Mm-hmm.
individuals. I had let it be known there were other individuals that were interested. It wasn't like I didn't make him feel like he was the one and only, but I almost wanted to say it was like he knew there were other people trying, like talking to me and interested. So
Right.
he kind of was like, well, let me go all in
Mm-hmm.
and do all this extra shit in hopes that it would kind of bump him up a few pegs.
Right. Right. Push me to
Right. But in turn, it kind of made me clench up and I was like, oh, ah.
mm-hmm.
And I run and I'm about to run next week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then now how do you have those conversations where and I think we kind of had discussed that on like one of the episodes. Oh maybe we didn't. Um, like when you know this person is really much interested
Mm-hmm.
and maybe okay, so let me don't ask it this way. Because you could it's easier to have a conversation to the beginning, right? When you
Right.
know the person is interested, like right to the beginning. But well, this is right to the beginning too. I it just make he been going so crazy, it make it feel like I've been in this for weeks. So
Oh,
how do you tell that person like, this isn't kind of working out? I am not. I'm not feeling this anymore.
I feel as soon as you know, just say something. And that's why I say props to you for doing that because a lot of people stay longer than they should.
Yeah.
Pick up on them red flags. If you ain't feeling it, you ain't feeling it. I tell my son that too. I tell Jaden that too. You're young. You don't have time to be wasting time on something that you know is not it. If it ain't clicking, move on.
And in situations like this, how crazy he is, I don't want it to get any more
Right. Don't let him
like
get
crazier before because next thing you know, somebody stalking me outside my house,
exactly.
somebody following me.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't need I don't need none of that. No, no,
In a
no, 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 none of
situation
that.
like that where he came in so strong and so heavy and was just kind of like just really immersing himself in your life and just being around all the time, no. If you already felt like it's not gonna go anywhere, cut that off. Like you said, don't let him get any more attached. Pick up on them red flags.
Like it was even more and I was just like, it's raining red flags. At this point, it's not even a flag. I think it's a whole tarp.
Right. And some people, like, they get in their mind and they kind of say, like, it's still early. Let me give him a try. I don't really know him yet or whatever. No, pick up on it. If you're already feeling a certain way, you have nothing to lose. Cut it off.
Yeah, I don't think I could I just because if all of this is just leading to all this red flags, now at this point, it's
Hmm.
become awkward.
Right.
And I don't want to be around somebody where it's just awkward. That just does not make sense to me.
Yeah, it kind of puts you kind of like an attention. You're not able to
Right.
and enjoy and get to know each other and stuff like that. You're looking
Right, right.
to pop up, you
You said
know.
what?
You're looking for the next thing to pop up, like what's he gonna
At
do
this
next?
point, what else gonna pop up? Like I'm just like, ooh.
So that brings another question I have too, though. Like, say, okay, you've been in a relationship with someone for years, and now they're changing something about themselves. It's not what you are accustomed to. Like, that's not how you met them, but they decide to change something about themselves, and it's just not something you can get with. What do you do then? And I mean,
Well,
you've been together for years. I mean, married.
but it depends on what they're changing.
I mean, it could
Are
be
they changing something like to make them better? Is the change going to make us better? Is the change going to affect how we are? Is it change what is this change? Is it just a physical change? Is it a mental change? Like what exactly is this
let's start
change?
first, just a physical change, and maybe something that you're just not attracted to.
A physical change like what? Like with the conversations we had with our show?
Yeah, same terms of that.
Boss, if my man say he coming out transition to go to be some woman, I am not staying.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no. Or if let's say my significant we've been together for years and years and now he wants to come out the closet and say he's gay or
Well,
he's bisexual. You say a change. You didn't specify.
well, if
But if
he
he come out and say but
say
he
if he
bisexual,
say he gay, then I'm not his type. At that point, yeah.
okay, so let's not say gay. Okay, so let's say he come out and say he's bisexual.
Hmm.
Me not staying. I don't care. I am not about to be out here competing against women and men. You crazy? I got worried about the guy, the waiter, and like the guy that just passed by and the woman that just passed by. Which
Hmm.
one you checking out? If you checking out, I am not doing that. No, my man. If that's what you like, taps off to you. Go your way.
Or okay, even say something else in terms of say maybe religion.
Like if he's a Christian and he turned what Muslim.
Yeah.
Muslim men don't be with women that's non-Muslim. Yeah, it there is like I think it just depends on how big in your faith. But I've seen Muslim men with non-Muslim women.
Hmm.
But I feel like in that situation, it would have to be a conversation I would have because he's not gonna wake up one morning and be like, "Boop, I want to be Muslim." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would have to be a conversation that would like over a period of time of multiple conversations.
Hmm.
And I think it would just depend on how those conversation goes.
Right.
It just would dictate what our relationship at that point looks like, and if it's something that makes sense for us to stay together or not stay together.
Yeah. Because that's, I mean, it's, and exactly like you said, that's not something that's going to happen overnight. You know, it could be
Right.
something that they've been interested in researching or whatever and decides, okay, well, yeah, you know, they want to now, you know, be a part of this religion. And that's something that can be a big conflict between the two in terms of, say, like, you know, like I said, you're going to have kids. What religion are you going to raise them up in? Certain things like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's something that you
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, so I think those things of changes is those are very impactful changes.
Right.
So let's do like if it's behavioral changes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
Like,
it's behavioral,
or
huh?
even so, like you don't like smokers, but all of a sudden now your significant other pick up smoking.
We're gonna have to have a conversation. Why'd you pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel smoking is an aura fixation. So why did you pick up this? So there has to have something else that's happening. And usually if people weren't smoking before and they pick up smoking,
Mm-hmm.
it's usually stress.
Yeah,
It's usually stress that causes
that
that.
happened.
Yeah, it's usually stress, and they find it hard to break because they do end up starting to have that aura fixation, which is the cigarettes, butts in the mouth or whatever. So I think it would have to have a conversation,
So why they?
and then it would have to be, well, let's fix. You have to fix the problem, which is what causes it to start,
Mm-hmm.
and what steps then are taken to try to correct it. So I'm not gonna be like it's gonna be multiple times, and they probably might have times where they might stop for a few weeks or like a couple months, and then something happens and then they fall right back in that.
Right.
Um, but I wouldn't just walk away from somebody like that. I would more try to help them because I was with someone who didn't smoke before.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff happened, picked up on the habit,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of became more of a situational thing. Like he can go the whole day, but then it's something about like when the day is done and they're relaxing and they're drinking a scotch or a whiskey, it's just that they have to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been there. I've been there with someone. But they know that it's not good. And at that point it's like, you need to stop. And that's something they did on their own. I think it will more bother me if you're coming to bed and all I'm smelling is a cigarettes.
Right. Yeah.
That was never an issue. So that was never a problem. So yeah, so I think it just depends. But now if it's like I think cigarettes is one thing, right? We know
Mm-hmm.
it's bad, but if it's like alcohol starts becoming a problem and other
Right.
illicit drugs start becoming a
Mm-hmm.
problem, do you walk away from that person straight off the bat?
No, I mean I think
No, you don't, right? So
we
I
should.
think it's like conversations and you do try to help the person, but it's gonna come a point at time because when it comes to those type of addiction is it's different because it has such a big impact on your life. It has a big impact on everybody around you. Um, I think at that point it's like, you try to help the person, but if the person can't help themselves, it doesn't matter how much you want from them.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to either, and I always say this, like even I always say this, they have to hit rock bottom. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody's rock bottom is always different. They're
Right.
never the same. There's no set rock bottom. They have to hit their own rock bottom. And unfortunately, some of them their rock bottoms is death,
The end.
you know, but they have to hit their rock bottom to realize, okay, I really need to get clean, I really need to get sober, and I really need to stick with it. And that's when they start to doing the work. So you wanting and to for them to be clean and be sober, and you sending them to counseling, and you going to counseling, you going to the rehabs with them. They'll go, yeah, and they'll stay clean for a few weeks, but as soon as they leave the rehab place, they're right back on it because they never really wanted it in the first place.
Yeah. They
So
definitely.
those type of, you see, like, so there's just, I think there's just levels to the behavioral changes. It's
Mhm.
like you said, like some of them do lead to some conversations happening before the change take place,
Right.
and then some of them are change happen. But what happened that made that change happen that you
Right.
can work through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never just black
So
and white. There's always,
you said
both.
what?
It's never just black and white. Like we can't just talk about these things and say, well, I would do it this way because you never know.
You
Like,
can't, because you never know how you're going to react. It's so easy for everybody to be on the outside looking in and saying, "Oh, I would never do this. I should if I was she," but you're not her and you're not in the situation. So
exactly.
it's easy for you to say what you would and should do, but
Hmm.
until you get in there, because when you're in a situation, you still have to take in all these other different factors,
That's
like
right.
how it's going to change your life, it's going to change your day-to-day routine. It might affect your family in a really big way. It might affect your finances. And
Right.
then on top of that, you have emotions too. And I know they said you always have to not make rash decisions on
Hmm.
temporary feelings, but it's still feelings that you have there. Yes, that sometimes those feelings might be higher than the other, but those things still playing factors. So I don't want to understand when people are just be on the outside looking in and say you don't know what you would do. You don't know.
Definitely. That was
You
always,
don't know.
nobody knows how they would handle a situation until they're in it. And nobody's situation is ever exactly the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like
Because
you,
you might go through similarities,
right.
but it's not the same thing.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just rough. I feel, I don't know. I don't know why people like to be people business, huh?
Girl, that's the world we live in now. I said there's no right or wrong answer is a yes and a no. Like you said, to a certain extent. Having somebody that's different is good in a certain way, how they can develop both of y'all in a relationship. How can they help a relationship, teach you different things, involve you in their culture, make you learn something different. Having somebody that's completely different may not work either. Like you said, you know what I mean? If you're somebody that's extroverted and you like to be out sometimes and you're with somebody who just want to be home all the time, that may not work. But then again, like we said, we have to have our own separate identities as well. So it's a right or wrong answer. It's a yes, it's a no. It all depends. Relationship
Okay.
is a risk though. You're gonna take a risk with whoever you choose to be with. Whether they have the same interests you or not, it's all a risk. And people change over time as well too.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. It's all a risk.
Yep. Well said. Well said. All right. So for my closing thoughts, be with who wants to be with you,
Definitely. That's very.
and do it with an open mind. I know I do have preferences.
Hmm.
It's not set in stone.
Hmm.
Um, but there are some things that I will not compromise on.
Right.
That's I won't compromise on. And there's more things that I'm willing to compromise on. I think more things that I won't compromise on are just moral values that I do have,
Hmm.
that I would expect that person to have kind of this his morals to align with my morals, and I don't expect my partner who I decide to be with to compromise on their morals. Morals and what you like to do are two vast different things, and morals is a big thing for me. So yeah, so pretty much like date who likes you, be open when you do it, I know I sometimes need to be a little bit, I don't even want to say I need to be a little bit more open because I feel like I'm open. I think I just need to give people more chance. I need to like give people an actual chance, but not when it comes to the red flags. Like a red flag is a red flag.
Right.
But there are like little stuff, just little tiny stuff. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I mean, these are just our own opinions. What we're saying is just how we feel. Some
Mhm.
stuff what we say on here might be true.
Mhm.
Some stuff what we say on here might not be true. I'm just gonna leave y'all to distinguish what's being said is serious and what being said is a joke. I am not explaining shit to y'all. Figure it out if you care that much. Um, but you have any other thoughts?
No, you said it
All
all.
right, y'all. I want to thank you for joining us on the pod tonight. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you do not miss a topic. We did not do a cultivated mixed topic today. I really didn't really send it out to get people's opinions to do that segment, but we are back on it. Come next week. If you like what you hear and you want to be a part of it, go ahead and hit me up on the side. You hit me up on my IG and let me know you want to be on the pod. If you do have a topic that you want to bring to the pod, hit me up and let me know as well. If you want to just comment on the bullshit that we talk about on the pod, go ahead and do so in the comments. If you don't want your name attached to it, you can also just tell me what you think on the side as well too. Thank you all again for listening. Cultivate Your Life podcast. We out. Bye.